All right, well, you have asked me to show you how to diagram sentences, so I'm going to show you guys. Here's the way it gets started. All sentences have at least one clause in them. They often have more. They usually have more. So what's a clause? Well, a clause is made up of a subject and a predicate. And there will always be a subject and a predicate in a sentence. Well, when you diagram a sentence, you start with a plus. That will always be there. And you put the subject on the left in that quadrant, and you put what's called the simple predicate on this side. Now, if you take a sentence like dogs bark, there's only two words there. And that one just happens to diagram like this, dogs bark. And that's probably the way you would do it anyway, but how can you tell the difference? Well, this is the part, the simple predicate is the part that tells about the subject. Bark tells about dogs. And this is the part about which the simple predicate tells something. Dogs. How do you know which is which? That would be a circular definition in a way, but they always come as pairs. And so there, you've got a simple subject and you've got a simple predicate. All sentences will have that. And I've started with a very, very simple sentence. Now, taking it one step further, you guys know that adjectives are words that modify nouns or pronouns. You should know that. Well, modifiers, when you diagram, you put modifiers under the words that they modify. So if I want to modify dog, I want to modify means change. I want to change these dogs into big dogs. Well, you put a slope line under the word it modifies, and I'm going to write in here big. Now, by the rules of diagramming, I've got to get rid of that capital D now because there's the start of the sentence. Big dogs bark. If I want to make it big black dogs. Or I don't want them to be big dogs. I'm going to modify dogs. I'm going to make them little dogs. Well, here's little. Little dogs. And I want to modify it further. Little angry dogs. You would just keep as many modifiers as you want to put on that word you can put there. If I want to modify bark, change the way they bark, now you should know that an adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Well, this is a verb. This is a verb. Simple predicates will always be verbs. But you're making a mistake. Anyone makes a mistake who refers to this as the verb in the sentence, because you can have other verbs in other places in a sentence. But anyway, this is a verb. I could modify bark by making them bark loud. How do they bark? They bark loud. Or if I were being real fancy, I might say loudly to make sure that I'm showing that I know that this is an adverb, but loud's okay with me. They bark loud. Or I'm going to modify it. They don't bark loud. They bark softly. So we've got a simple predicate, a simple subject. We've got a simple predicate. This is the part that tells something about that. This is the naming part. This one has been modified by two words. This has been modified by one word. There you've got, this would be a category 1 sentence if I had some of you come up here and try to compete in diagramming it. Okay?